All right, guys. Good afternoon or good morning, good evening. Ano mga oras nyo napapanood to or mapanood to. Uh, just want to talk about some important things about our financial system, especially in this emerging financial system. As much as possible, I want this video to be as easy, as clear. I mean, to make it as easy as possible for people to understand what I'm saying. So, having said that, I might be using Taglish since most of my friends on Facebook or Instagram, Twitter, they are all Filipinos. And if there are foreigners, mostly they are Koreans. So, if you would gonna see this, 안녕하세요. And hopefully you would learn something here. So, number one thing I'd like to uh, talk about is what is money. It should really boil down sa history ng pera. What is money in a sense? I personally grew up knowing that money is a form of paper money, something I identify by their colors, by their numbers, and their amount will be based on the color and the number written on the paper money. And that goes the same with coins, Philippine coins, right? We see them, value them through their shapes. If it's smaller, it has a lesser amount. Kapag mas malaki yung coin, mas malaki yung amount. Expected na yon. And so we go by the sterling color, yung silver or yung stainless or what, and then that's 1 peso, and the gold coin is 5 pesos. But now they are changing it to all silver, right? So, uh, money is a form of um, value. Money is being used to exchange value around the world, and anywhere you go, you can see people exchanging value through an expression of uh, their service, their effort that they have put into something, and then make someone pay for it with an equivalent value. It's either with the same service or with a monetary value. So basically, what I'm saying is that whatever you are exchanging, as long as there is value to the things or to the effort that you're putting in, you're actually creating a valuable exchange. And through history, people have been like inventing or creating, developing different form of um, ways to exchange value. And basically, this value has evolved from the initial or the genesis of the history of money is that people tend to like exchange value through different commodities like uh, cowrie shells, stones, fruits, or any form of commodity, something na pinaghirapan nila. Let's say I'm a farmer and you are a fisherman. Before, ang transaction goes through like the barter exchange that we know, right? We've been hearing barter exchange since our elementary days. And we know that before, people tend to exchange valuable things to each other. So from one community to another community, let's say community of farmers, community of fishermen, there will be like an agreement at a certain day, a certain point that both communities will meet together and exchange, let's say, 100 sacks of rice to 100 kilos of fish, uh, and then exchange that. Then they call it barter exchange or exchange of value. So people exchange value through their own uh, important assets like their farmlands, their vegetables, their fruits, yung mga inani nila sa sakahan, ipinagpapalit nila to ng equivalent value dun sa mga tao na mangingisda. And so people grew in numbers and they grew in numbers and began thinking about how can we manage this form of exchange, because there are times na nagkakagulo sila, nagkakaroon sila ng imbalance exchange. For example, yung mga magsasaka, yung mga farmers, hindi sila nakaani in time. And so, ang ani lang nila is, let's say, less than 100 sacks of rice. Let's say, 50 lang ang naani nila. And itong mga itong mga fishermen, nagde-demand ng 100 sacks kasi nga meron silang 100 kilo. They're able to make it in time to gather fish for 100 kilos or for 100 kilos. So, nagkakaroon ng imbalance with their in terms of their exchanges, and somehow that brought too much conflict sa mga tao noon, and they became so dissatisfied with how they exchange value. So they thought there should be something or another form of exchange or isang bagay na pwede nating ipamagitan, or there should be an intermediary object that will balance our exchange no matter what happens. So they began like producing important objects like cowrie shells. Cowrie shells yung sa sungka. Pag naglaro ka ng sungka, di ba? Shell yun. That's a cowrie shell. They said that it has to be durable. Kailangan matibay siya, hindi siya nasisira. They said it has to be divisible. Kailangan nahati siya in numbers. It could be counted. And third, it has to be portable. Meaning pwede nilang i-move. Magaan lang, hindi siya sobrang effort kapag nag-move ka from one place to another. So that's what they thought. So they brought up cowrie shells. So ang nangyayari, nagkaroon ng kakulangan sa fisher department or sa fisherman department community. Ang nangyayari, they have not been able to catch any fish. So ang nangyayari, since they have this third intermediary object, cowrie shell, what they do is that they gather large amount of cowrie shells, and that's what they have, yun yung pinampalit nila sa mga magsasaka. So instead of us giving you fishes, we only got 30 kilos of fish. So, hindi fishes, sorry. Walang fishes. So, yun. So, since 30 kilos lang ang nakuha nila this month or this week, ang nangyari is pinunan ng mga fishermen yung kakulangan nila by producing cowrie shells in exchange dun sa 100 sacks of rice. So, yung intermediary item na yon became the the third object that will balance the exchange. So kung may kakulungan man si farmer or si fisherman community, merong third valuable asset or intermediary object na magbabalance dun sa palitan nila. Now, hundreds of years or thousands of years passed, nagkaroon ng improvement. Sabi nila yung cowrie shells it's not scarce. Hindi siya kailangan kasi in order for something to become valuable, it has to be scarce. Hindi siya dapat nakikita kung saan-saan lang. It has to be with a difficulty to find. It's rare. It has to be rare. It has to be scarce in order for it to be considered as money or a valuable asset. It's durable, it's portable, it's divisible, and it should be scarce. And so they found out that there is a form of object or an element sa earth, which we can call metal, that can be the same and much more durable than cowrie shells, and it has to be really mined before it can be gathered by people. Bago makakuha ng metal, kailangan magmina ng mga tao to really gather metals. So yung mga leaders noon have really formed uh, laborers who will find metals and shape them into a metal coin. So from there, nag-improve na naman yung history natin, nagkaroon na naman ng improvement, naka-recognize na naman sila ng silver and gold. And this silver and gold became the most precious, valuable asset in the entire history of our lifetime. Even today, if you will try to buy gold, I think sobrang mahal pa rin ng gold. Nasa 87,000 ata per gold bar, per one gold bar, if I'm correct. If not, we can search it on Google. But yeah, sobrang mahal ng gold because it's scarce, it's durable, it's portable, and it is divisible. Something that people, that we all, it has an intrinsic value. That's what I'm lacking. Intrinsic value means that all of us agrees that this form of object or metal or whatever you call it is something valuable for all of us. So we all recognize it as a commodity, as a valuable asset, and it is durable, it's divisible. Through the years, gold has not been deteriorated. Nobody or no one has been able uh, to eliminate gold in the history of mankind. It has always been there, and some other people say, or experts say, that gold is God's money because it's natural and it's from the earth, and we know that God created the earth, and it's God's money. So even in the Bible, if you would gonna read histories in the Bible, it has been said there that King Solomon has accumulated too much gold, that he has accumulated the most number of gold in the entire human history. So gold and silver has become the most valuable assets for the people, and this is what they use to exchange commodity and value. So if you would get a notice there, people find value to the things that they put effort and service into. So let's say you put a valuable effort or service into something, then it becomes valuable for you as well as to the others. Because again, when you put some effort and service into something, or you sweat into that particular object and make it into something, you make it beautiful, make it really important for the people. Then it becomes valuable. Then it becomes a form of valuable asset. Then it becomes it can enable you to exchange into some other form of valuable assets that are from the effort of the others. So always remember that when there is a service, there's always value. Okay, and when there's service and value, then there is profit. Okay, these are just some of the basic things that I learned in finance. This is my personal realization, by the way. And so let's go back to the metal, precious metals, gold and silver. Now, time, zoom in natin, moving to a little bit further future history of money, is that money or gold and silver became a burden to people because they realized that metal money or metal coin or silver or gold is heavy to transport. So if they are like exchanging transactions between one country to another, they will cross miles and miles of distance to exchange value. So imagine if they would have to cross the sea or cross 100 mountains, not really 100, but maybe 20 different mountains and they're carrying a heavy loads of gold and silver. Laborers or workers during those days have become so exhausted transacting until they realize that this is no longer profitable because it delays our time to transport gold and silver to the distant communities or other kingdoms or empire if they had it. So they realized, or actually, the first people, or yeah, the first people who invented this another form of money is the Chinese people. Chinese people in, I believe it's way back in 1800s or 1600s. You can really go back to Google. But yeah, during those times, Chinese people have realized that why not we record the amount of gold and silver that we're about to send to our trading partners across the sea and write it on a piece of paper, write the amount with a stamp of the king or the emperor or the rulers of of Chinese people during that time, with the stamp and the amount on the paper receipt, then send it to the trading partner on the other side of the world as a form of agreement or a form of contract, a receipt that this paper serves as a proof of contract that you have 1,000 tons of gold from us, Chinese people, and in exchange of 3,000 tons of silver in exchange. So that paper money was sent to, let's say, the other trading partner to the other side of the world, and they both have agreed. Okay, then if this serves as a proof of contract, then we trust you to abide in this or to this agreement and make it possible for us to receive this amount of gold in time. So yeah, there is a date to that paper money as well, or that receipt, and that became the regular activity of people in exchanging value. So what they do now is that instead of sending gold, they are sending receipt or a proof of contract with the stamp of the rulers or the authority, that with the amount and the date, that states that whenever you wish to come here and get some of this gold that we promised to give you can just present this paper receipt or this paper money of a form of agreement between us, and then we will give it to you. Okay. Kings and rulers before take honor of um, their word. So people before, when they say something, I will do it, then they would have to do it because it serves as their, I mean, it basically gives them honor for themselves, for their community, for their country. And so people learn to uh, exchange value by exchanging trust. Okay. No, not exchanging trust. By means of trust, exchanging value to what the other party have said. So kung halimbawa, sinabi ko na ito yung amount na ma-receive mo, ayon sa papel na sinend ko sa'yo, then on this date, anytime that you want, you can go back to me and say and claim this gold or claim the amount of gold that is written on this paper. So if you're hearing someone is grinding outside, sorry for the noise. Hopefully you can still hear me, and hopefully they will be finished. So yeah, going back, the new form of money became a paper money. That's where the paper money starts. It serves as a form of receipt for gold in exchange of gold, and that became the norm. Since it's easy to print money, it's easy to exchange value with the number, the date, the statement of the ruler, the stamp, the signature of the ruler on that paper money. It's easier to transact value or to exchange value around communities or trading partners of specific nation. So paper money had started from there, and there um, so from exchanging paper money, uh, the exchange of value become or became sorry has become sort of a practice in the community, and their bankers have also sprout out suddenly. Bigla nagkaroon ng mga bangko. And if you're gonna ask me how did banks started or start during that time, they start by so originally ang mga bankers noon are the jewelers. They're the goldsmith, they call it. Goldsmith are the jewelers. Sila yung mga may-ari ng mga sanlaan ng alahas or mga gawaan, pagawa ng alahas. And because they are the owners of this business, they also have a vault that they call. Meron silang malaking taguan ng mga alahas or mga ginto, silver, or mga important valuable assets. So these banks have one day a banker met a merchant, and this merchant is a rich merchant, and this merchant has got multiple paper receipts that proves I have tons of gold around surrounding parties or partners, communities that they have exchanged value with. And so this goldsmith asked this merchant to say, why not keep your gold inside my vault so that you keep it away from thieves and from pirates or from anyone that might attack you along the way while exchanging values in the surrounding community. So the merchant thought that that's actually a good idea to keep his valuable assets like gold and silver secured with the merchant guarding it, and in exchange of a little service fee for the merchant. Since itong mga to is businessman na noon pa, they know what transaction fee is and what service fee is. So sabi ni merchant, yeah, I'm good with that. I'm gonna pay you a 10% of my holdings or my asset. So 10% ng 1,000, how much? It's 100, right? 100 tons of gold. So, yun ang bayad niya kay Goldsmith in exchange of securing his gold and his assets. And that became the practice again. That became the norm. And again, there's an element of trust that the merchant trust the uh, goldsmith to keep the gold, his assets secured on the vault inside the vault, and would be able to like withdraw anytime the merchants need to withdraw. So, yun na nangyari. Nagkaroon sila ng agreement, ng element of trust. And so this merchant would just receive a receipt um, from the goldsmith as a proof that you have, I kept a thousand tons of gold inside my vault, and you can come anytime that you want to withdraw some amount of it for your business. And this is the agreement. Here's the paper money or the paper receipt, that which became a paper money. And so those are in 1800s or 1900s. And that's where the history of banks started, how the bank system started. And if we will go to uh, the deeper analogy or history of banking system, it will take us a lot. But let's move forward. Let's fast forward to what we have right now. So there is a paper money that we have, right? There's a coins, but something has changed in 1971. Before, as we know, every amount or every paper receipt has an equivalent of amount of gold. Okay, so meaning every paper receipt is backed by gold. Okay, there is a backing, or that there's an asset that backs up the value of this paper money that you present to other people, because um, otherwise this paper money that you present to other people is meaningless, it's worthless, it's a form of money with the amount, the date, and the statement. But without actual gold backing up the value of what you're presenting to your trading partner, it's actually worthless, it's meaningless. So something happened in 1971 in the US. There's a lot of history that you can really search about and really analyze what happened there. But I'd like to move us, make a little uh, jump towards the future of money. That after World War, money is still backed by gold, but in 1971, uh, President Nixon in the U.S. have declared that U.S. dollars will no longer be backed by any commodity or any form of uh, value except the government's mandated legalized authority to say this is the US dollar, this is the amount, and this is the value. Before, uh, $1 is equivalent to, I mean, 1 ounce of gold is equivalent to $35. So you can see there that per ounce, there is an equivalent amount of dollar, which means that gold is backing up the dollar to make it valuable to people. So without gold, it actually just a paper money. But since there is now a government, a central authority that authorized people to exchange value, that states that this is $1, this is $20, this is $50, this is $100, then people have trust that form of have trusted that form of government orders, that paper money is now backed by the government, and you can exchange value literally or exchange paper money with just believing that because the government says so. So from 1971 up to now, okay, paper money, the paper money that we use right now is no longer backed by anything or any form of valuable assets like gold. So that, having said that, governments around the world are now the central point of control of the money flow in which our economy is uh, it's dependent on. I mean, dun nakadepende yung ekonomiya natin, basically, and is what I'm trying to say, to the government. And because governments is no longer backed by gold, or fiat money is no longer backed by gold, uh, governments can now, or central banks can now print money depending on the need of the nation, of our country, of our society. And so if you would gonna notice there that if this has become the practice since 1971, imagine how much money has already been printed since then. So far, I think, I believe, not I believe, but what I've read, if my memory serves me correct, there's over uh, uh, 500 trillion dollars in liquidity, money that is circulating around the world since then. So imagine how much is the effect of this to the market, right? Because as we know, supply and demand, when there is too much supply, then there should be a higher demand, right? So when there is lower demand, because there is, did I say that right? Supply and demand. So when there is more supply, there is less demand. But when there is lesser supply, then there is higher demand, right? So kapag ang pera natin is mas marami dun sa production na pinoproduce ng bansa natin, eventually yung price ng mga production like mga vegetables, fruits, meat, kapag mas marami yung supply ng pera sa bansa natin kesa dun sa production na pinoproduce ng ating ekonomiya, ang tendency nun, to balance this both uh, element sa economy natin, the price of commodity should balance the number of money supply. So, yun yung dahilan kung bakit tumataas yung presyo ng bawat paninda sa palengke, sa tindahan, sa grocery stores. Well, there's really a lot to mention on that, but that's basically it. When inflation or printing of money uh, goes higher or goes higher than the production of the economy, in order for it to be balanced, kailangan itaas ng presyo ng mga manininda yung presyo nila. Kasi there will be more uh, money chasing the same amount of product available in the market. So there will be more competition, in other words. So parang pag ano lang, pag manliligaw, for example, kapag may isang manliligaw, kapag may isang babaeng nililigawan ng 10 lalaki na manliligaw, yung demand ni babae is tumataas. Why? Kasi mas marami siyang option. Mas maraming competitors or maraming lalaki na mag-chase kay ate. Sa babae na to, because technically, bakit madami siyang manliligaw is because of the value na nakikita na ang mga lalaki na to sa kanya. So this girl could be because she is the only person or the only woman in their community na probably matangkad, probably maganda. Well, I'm just being real here, okay? I don't want to be, ayoko maging plastic na sabihin kong hindi kailangan na matangkad, hindi kailangan na maganda, hindi kailangan ng sexy. Girls, I have nothing bad against you. You are beautiful as you are, okay? And each of us, men, will have our own preference about how we see a girl or a woman that we want to be with or that we want to be in relationship with. Okay, it really depends on each of us is destined to uh, a single man, woman that is really meant to be our partner for the rest of our life. Uh, so let's go back on the example. Okay, this is not a love story, and this is not a financial advice. By the way, this is a form of education that I wanna share to people, and I just really wanna share this knowledge so that all of us will learn something from this. So yun na nga, may isang babaeng nililigawan, may 10 lalaking manliligaw. Yung demand kay ate mas mataas because there are more suitors. There are more men chasing one girl available. So in order for this girl to balance the competition, magre-require siya ng demands. Like, uh, show me something. Sasabihin niya sa mga lalaki na to, show me some good assets that you have for me to realize that you are the guy. Give me 10 reasons why I have to choose you. So that example is the same example that we have in our economy. Now, when there is more money chasing uh, one product or one limited product or one valuable product sa market, this market has to increase its price or this product has to increase its price in order to balance the amount of money. That's just how it is. At a certain level, they would have to meet on a certain equilibrium for it to be balanced. So ganun na nga. So imagine if there are too much amount of money in our economy, there has to be a price increase. And that really becomes the reason why Bitcoin is here. Okay? Uh, because of inflation. That's one major thing. Second thing is that people no longer want to depend on trust-based system. They wanted to find um, because what happened in 2008 was a catastrophic event in the US where the Lehman Brothers have uh, encountered a really devastating collapse through their subprime mortgages. And that's where Satoshi Nakamoto in October 31st, 2008 has introduced Bitcoin white paper on Google. You can actually search it. Just type it Bitcoin white paper and you will see the details there. So in October 31st, 2008, Satoshi Nakamoto presented this white paper, Bitcoin white paper. And in January 3rd, 2009, uh, first Bitcoins were minted by Satoshi himself. By the way, Satoshi Nakamoto is a pseudonym, meaning he's not, uh, nobody knows him, but yet there is a representation of him as Satoshi Nakamoto. All right. So no one knows who Satoshi is, by the way. And well, because I guess that's for security and his safety, right? Because if somebody would know that who Satoshi is or who that guy is, terrorists might attack him, or thieves or attackers will find him just to be able to get the codes he installed for himself to secure his Bitcoin. Because Satoshi took 1 million worth of Bitcoin, or 1 million Bitcoin, right? 1 Bitcoin today is, yesterday I checked it, it was 471 pesos per Bitcoin. Now imagine, per 1 Bitcoin, it's 475 or 71 pesos. Imagine 1 million times, so let's do a quick mathematical, uh, let's calculate it, okay? So let's check. So 471,000, let's just get a fixed price for that. 471 times 1 million. So you'll get 471 billion pesos. Imagine, right? So Satoshi has that up until now. And so for security reasons, he doesn't want to reveal himself, because maybe there could be too much greed from other, you know, investors or entrepreneurs. We're not really sure what might gonna happen when we talk about money. People can really do such unwanted things to be able to get from someone, right? Or to get something out of evil deeds. So yeah, going back, so in 2010, May 22nd, there has been a transaction, a historical transaction, wherein a guy bought 2 boxes of pizza sold for 10,000 Bitcoin. So how much is that? It's around 400 million something, if I got it right. So that's what happened. Because again, we can't blame that guy, because it's not his fault per se, because he doesn't know that after 7 years, because that was 2010 when Bitcoin spikes to 1 million peso per Bitcoin. That's way back 2017. And since he doesn't know that this will be the equivalent amount of 10,000 Bitcoin after 7 years, he didn't realize that he could have gone far richer than he is right now. So that's what happened. That's one of the historical event. And in December 12, 2010, Satoshi disappeared with a 1 million Bitcoin in his pocket, or in his digital wallet. And after that, there has been enormous adoption and studies, research amongst entrepreneurs, businessmen, developers, and where this different altcoins have also emerged in the market, in the crypto space. And one of the famous uh, digital currency is Ethereum. There's also Bitcoin Cash, Bitcoin Hash, sorry, Bitcoin Cash, and then Litecoin, Monero, XRP. Uh, there are a lot more. There are also stable coins that have also occurred in the recent years. And in 2017, this has been the spike of really the noise around the world about Bitcoin has been so loud that everybody knows what Bitcoin is. And most of us, Bitcoin thought we thought that Bitcoin is a form of a stock market, is a form of buy and sell, which is true. Yeah, it's a form of buy low, sell high, which it's what's the stock markets taught us to do, right? When you buy stocks in the market. But actually, Bitcoin has a lot deeper importance and sensible meaning of what it truly is. Okay, now you'll question yourself why Bitcoin became so important to people. Why Bitcoin matters to people? Bakit sobrang halaga ng Bitcoin sa mga tao ngayon? And to a point na because they are so valuable, many, and sadly, I'm really sad that many have taken advantage to this wonderful technology that in a sense could be uh, a some sort of hedge in our declining or in our corruptive um, financial system, and somehow these scammers have taken advantage against or towards people. They have taken advantage to most of us Filipinos. This year of 2017, I remember I joined a company, a mining company, that promised us to give us a monthly profit. They will like I will we're gonna buy, or people were gonna join and subscribe to their um, package, that you would gonna buy it on a certain amount or a certain price, and that they promise to give you a monthly payment in exchange for your package that you bought. So it's like they will like rent out their A6 mining computers and then will pay us a monthly commission or monthly payment based on the package that we bought from them. So I bought in an 8,000 starter package, and I waited for almost a year and nothing I received back from that until it became or it until the company declares insolvency, that they can no longer pay their dividends or their customers, and that they have been bankrupt due to the shock towards Bitcoin price. That's a way out for them. They said that the Bitcoin price became very low, and so that they can no longer pay us back what we have bought from their package, their offers. So that was quite disappointing for me at first, but I realized that that's just a point of my realization that Bitcoin is not an investment. Okay, so for all of you guys that still think that Bitcoin is an investment, no, it's not. Bitcoin is a technology. Bitcoin is meant for people to use for transaction. Bitcoin is meant for people who would like to transfer value around the world, anytime, anywhere. And Bitcoin is made of a decentralized um, transaction where nobody would have to be in the middle of both people transacting to each other. There will no longer be a middleman that will become the intermediary person who would transfer funds from one location to another. So that's no longer the case in terms of using Bitcoin. You can just transfer money from from your friend in California, in USA, in New Zealand, or wherever he is, as long as he has got the digital wallet on his mobile, an internet connection. Send him your wallet address. He can send you the amount of Bitcoin you can that you wanna receive. So that's what really Bitcoin is all about. It's a peer-to-peer electronic cash. Bitcoin, by the way, is not something you can handle. It's not tangible. It's digital. When we talk about digital, these are things that we do not touch physically, but these are the things that runs through technologies like computers, mobile devices, And by the power of the internet, we can all connect with each other and exchange value anytime, anywhere in the world. And it's also relating to its backbone technology, the blockchain technology, wherein blockchain keeps all the records of the transaction to make it secured, to make it publicly available, and to make it more tamper proof. Okay, so in the nature of Bitcoin, Bitcoin is merely created for a permissionless currency or digital currency, cryptocurrency. It's permissionless, it's borderless, and it does not need central control like huge intermediaries like banks, governments. It does not need a third person who will transfer money for you, that you trust that person, that your money will be transferred to your friend or to your family on the other side of the world. So that's what is the core nature of Bitcoin, and it gives people power to transact without really having to have a bank account, because sadly, our banking system nowadays are not really that affordable, especially for most of the Filipinos. I think 77%, if my memory serves me correctly, 77% of Filipinos have no access to the digital banking or to the mobile banking. I have three different bank accounts, BDO, Union Bank, and BPI. And I normally use mobile banking to pay for my bills, Wi Fi, for transferring money to my family, um, paying, buying load. So that's how I use it. That's how I use mobile banking. And it's very useful in a sense. But how about other people who have no uh, like capable sorry, who has no capabilities of really, opening a bank account because of the minimum balance for your savings, right? And because of the KYC, most of our grandparents, even some of our parents, do not, or unfortunately has no valid ID or has no valid self-identification. That's really sad, especially for the people in the province or in the rural areas of the Philippines. So that's basically how difficult for Filipinos to achieve or to have their own personal banking accounts or bank accounts. And Bitcoin is offering that form of banking uh, asset or banking sovereignty. In order for you to have a bank account, you have to have certain amount of money. But in Bitcoin, you can just buy a fraction of it, save it, and then you can even wait for it to grow in time, because as the adoption grows, then the money value or the monetary value of Bitcoin should also goes up, right? So again, when there is more demand, there should be a price increase to Bitcoin. So again, Bitcoin is a valuable asset, and it's very useful for you to transact. So those are just the basic information about Bitcoin. You can transact anytime, anywhere. You don't have to have a bank account. You can be your own bank by just having a mobile, an internet connection, and and an asset. I'm sorry, and an internet connection. You can be your own bank. Okay, so you don't have to fall in line to banks. Open your bank's account. Wait there for 2 hours or 1 hour, 2 hours, and with Bitcoin, you can just open your mobile. By the way, the question is, how can you buy Bitcoin? Well, you can buy Bitcoin through uh, cryptocurrency exchange like coins.ph. Coins.ph for me is one of the best crypto exchange here in the Philippines. And how do you buy? Well, you just have to go through you have to create your account, verify your account. Just have to put your name, mobile, email, and your ID to so that they can verify who you really are. They have to identify you as well. So once you've done that, then you can just either go to remittances, or you go to Cebuana, you go to Palawan, you go to um, different exchange remittances to buy Bitcoin. 7-Eleven also is available. But one other thing is that if you use mobile banking, you can just download the app from your bank and then transfer money. You can send money to dccoins.ph and then put the amount, put your name, your mobile number, send the amount, and then you will receive it in pesos on your coins.ph account. From coins.ph account, so let's say you've transferred 5,000 pesos, you can just go press on the button that says convert. So you press on convert, put in the amount, select the type of cryptocurrency you want to buy. You put in BTC or Bitcoin, and then put in the amount, slide confirm and then verify the confirmation code on your email or on your mobile, and that's it. You buy, you already have a Bitcoin. So that's just how easy it is. And you can also see there your public digital wallet, your public key, you call it, and this is what you use to send to other friends or other people whom you want to receive cryptocurrency or Bitcoin. So again, Bitcoin is not an investment. It's a form of monetary uh, technology or financial technology where one can transfer money from A to B without A knowing B or without B knowing A. So that's really how simple and how powerful this financial technology. You can really literally move your money around the world, around the Philippines, anytime, anywhere, and it should be quite easy and with a very low fee and with really fast and really convenient way of moving your money. So I really have to go now. I have some other things to do. So I'm going to see you tomorrow, and we'll be discussing some more other stuff about Bitcoin. And I wish you subscribe and like this video, share it with your friends. This is for educational purposes only. These are my own knowledge. I've read it, I've watched it on the internet, so you can do the same thing that I do every day. And this is not a financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. Nothing that I discuss here is considered financial or professional advice. So you can do your own research. As I said, you can search it on Google. You can read articles. You can visit our website, blog.census.cx. You can also visit our Facebook page, uh, Census Open Finance. We regularly post articles and news bites over there. So you are welcome to ask us questions. We'll be happy to help. And you're also I'm going to invite you to visit our census store. Yesterday, I posted a video regarding this census card that we offer. This is a form of a hardware cold wallet, which we promote it as a form of gift card as well, because you can literally buy this card and fund it with a certain amount of Bitcoin and send it to someone as a gift. So that's how cool it is. So guys, thank you so much for your time, and I hope you have learned something. And let me know on the comments below if you have any questions. I'd be glad to assist you. And please uh, acknowledge that Bitcoin, again, is not an investment. It is a form of empowerment to our financial system. Thank you, and see you next time. Bye.